The crystalline spires of Kepler Station caught the light of 3 distant suns, casting rainbow shadows across the docking bay where Captain Jake Morrison stood waiting. His weathered hands gripped the metal railing as he watched the sleek Vorthak vessel descend through the atmospheric barrier, its hull shimmering with energy fields that bent light around its edges. 3 years had passed since he last saw her. The airlock hissed open with mechanical precision, releasing a cloud of luminescent particles that danced in the artificial gravity. Through the mist stepped Ambassador Lyra of the Starborn Collective, her tall frame moving with that familiar grace that had haunted his dreams across a dozen star systems. Her skin held the pale blue radiance of her people, and her silver hair flowed like liquid starlight down her shoulders. "Jake," she whispered, her voice carrying harmonics that resonated in frequencies human ears could barely detect. He stepped forward, noting how her large violet eyes searched his face with desperate intensity. The years had changed him, carved lines around his eyes from too many battles and too many nights staring into the void between stars. But her expression suggested she found something there worth remembering. "Ambassador Lyra," he replied formally, though his heart hammered against his ribs. Her diplomatic escort, a group of towering Vorthak warriors in ceremonial armor, maintained respectful distance. They understood the significance of this moment, even if the other humans on the station did not. "Walk with me," she requested, her universal translator rendering her words in crisp standard. They moved through the station's corridors in silence, past the bustling marketplace where dozens of alien species traded goods and information. Merchants from the Helix Confederation hawked crystallized memories while Andromedans offered songs that could heal psychological trauma. The diversity that once amazed Jake now felt ordinary after years of commanding humanity's first deep space diplomatic vessel. They reached the observation deck where Earth hung like a blue marble against the star field. Lyra approached the reinforced transparasteel window and placed her palm against its surface. "Your world calls to you," she observed. "Sometimes," Jake admitted, "but I've found my place out here among the stars." She turned to face him, her expression unreadable. "You saved my people from extinction, yet you ask for nothing in return. Even now, after the Council of Species has offered you riches beyond imagination, you refuse." Jake shrugged. "I did what needed doing. The Devourers would have consumed everything in their path, not just the Starborn worlds. Other species would have negotiated for territory or resources before acting. Humans charged into battle against impossible odds simply because it was right." Her voice carried wonder that he remembered from their first meeting. "Your people's capacity for selfless action continues to mystify the galaxy's eldest civilizations." The memory surfaced unbidden. Fleets of human vessels, vastly outgunned and outnumbered, diving into the swirling chaos of the Devourer invasion. Earth's children had fought with primitive kinetic weapons and nuclear missiles against energy-based life forms that consumed matter itself. Yet somehow, through tactics that defied conventional military doctrine and a stubborn refusal to retreat, they had prevailed. "We're too stupid to know when we're beaten," Jake said with a wry smile. "No." Lyra stepped closer. "You possess something the galaxy lost long ago. Hope. Courage born not from calculation but from an absolute refusal to accept defeat when others suffer." Her hand rose to touch his cheek, and he felt the subtle electric tingle of her bioelectric field. Starborn physiology generated natural electrical currents that enhanced their technology and extended their lifespans across centuries. Physical contact with other species was rare for them. Intimate contact rarer still. "I have lived for 200 years, she continued. "I have studied civilizations that spanned millennia before Earth's sun was born. Yet in 3 short years, with you I experienced emotions I thought existed only in ancient poetry. Lyra, when you held me that night on Proxima Station after the battle, I felt something I had never experienced. Warmth that had nothing to do with thermal regulation. Safety that transcended physical protection. Connection beyond mere electromagnetic. Resonance." Her violet eyes glistened with something that might have been tears. "I felt alive in ways my people have forgotten." Jake remembered that night vividly. the medical bay where she recovered from injuries sustained during the final assault. How she had trembled not from pain but from the overwhelming realization that her species would survive. How he had simply held her, offering what comfort he could to someone whose biology was so different from his own. The collective recalls me to our core worlds, she said quietly. The rebuilding requires my attention, and there are political complexities that demand diplomatic resolution, I understand. Do you? She moved even closer, her hand still against his face. Because I am uncertain if I can complete my duties while my thoughts remain here, with you. Jake covered her hand with his own. The galaxy needs the Starborn collective. Strong and unified, your people look to you for guidance. And what of what I need? The question hung in the recycled air between them. Around them, the station hummed with activity as representatives from 100 worlds conducted the business of interstellar civilization. Treaties were signed, trade routes established, cultural exchanges planned. The great work of building a peaceful galaxy continued, much of it made possible by humanity's unexpected emergence as a force for stability rather than conquest. You know what I need, Jake said finally, but we both know our duties. She closed her eyes, her bioelectric field pulsing with suppressed emotion. In my culture, we have a concept that translates roughly as star bonding. It describes the rare connection between souls that transcends physical form or species. I thought it was metaphor until I met you. Maybe our paths will cross again, perhaps. She opened her eyes and he saw the ambassador mask sliding back into place. But for now, let me feel your warmth again, Earthling. Let me remember what hope feels like. He pulled her close, feeling the subtle energy discharge as their biofields interacted. For a moment, the weight of command and duty fell away. There was only the woman in his arms and the infinite possibility of the stars beyond the window. Tomorrow she would return to her people, and he would continue his mission of building bridges between worlds. But tonight, two beings from different corners of the galaxy shared something that would resonate across the light years between them. The universe was vast and cold, but human warmth had found a way to kindle hope in even the most distant hearts.